Thank you so much for joining us today. It is such an exciting day for us, a day that marks another critical milestone in Paul's unique journey. Paul has been a staple in this community, the Brightwood community, for over 8 decades. Paul has survived and thrived. Paul has served students and families during segregation, during desegregation and integration, and Paul absolutely made its claim on the charter landscape when it converted from the traditional DC public school system to a public charter school. Thank you. Cecil Middleton was the fearless leader that inspired a group of staff and dedicated volunteers and community supporters to dare to do something different, something bold, and something absolutely necessary for kids. Cecil Middleton, a champion and trailblazer for education in the district, as well as our founder, left a legacy that we still stand on today. Although Ms. Middleton passed away in 2008, her whatever it takes for kids attitude remains at present. It is reflective in this project as well, and that's why we're here today. Because of this attitude that we will do whatever is necessary for kids to excel, Paul made the decision to expand beyond the middle school grades just a few years ago. This past year, we extended our model to offer Paul International High School, serving 250 9th and 10th graders. Next year, we will grow to 11th grade, and in 2015, we will serve 875 6th through 12th graders, and will graduate our first senior class in 2016. Yes. And all of which will be college bound. So today we celebrate another bold direction that Paul is taking to contribute to the District of Columbia, as we invest $20 million to renovate our existing building, all 129,000 square feet, and add an additional 26,000 square feet to accommodate our expansion to high school. We will be able to continue to offer our scholars a rigorous academic program, diverse arts opportunities, and a plethora of athletics to support their growth. Our AAA program in academics, arts, and athletics have proven to be a high-quality model, as we have been rated as a Tier 1 school by the DC Public Charter School Board since the inception of the Performance Management Framework. And we have consistently outperformed the state average on high-stakes assessments by double digits. Our scholars have performed at high levels in the classroom, on stage, and on the field. However, we rarely settle on our accomplishments here at Paul because there's still so much work to be done. So what do I mean by that? Historically, as a charter middle school, we have prepared our scholars to go on to some of the highest performing college prep schools like Banneker, Holton Arms, the Field School, School Without Walls, Landon, DeMatha, and McKinley Tech, to name a few. However, we realized very early in our charter life that there simply weren't enough high-quality high school seats in the district. So in 2011, we decided to roll up our sleeves and get on the front lines of the college access and readiness issue. We're all here today because we support this civil rights issue of our time, ensuring high-quality education for all kids. Expanding to a high school has already been challenging, including the actual efforts to expand our facility to accommodate our growth. But we stand on a legacy that is not afraid to face challenges, that is willing to do whatever it takes for our kids. Our staff and our board approach our work with urgency each day. The national data says that only 1 in 6 of the population that we serve will actually graduate from high school, that 1 in 4 will go on to college, and only 1 in 10 will graduate with a college degree in 6 years. The national data also says that 1 in 3 of our African American boys, a very large population that we serve, are already on the pipeline, will fill the pipeline to prison. So numbers like this make our work so very urgent. So the challenges in renegotiating our lease, securing our financing, and completing our summer blitz in less time than seems humanly possible, those challenges aren't as daunting as those numbers, and that is exactly why we work so hard to do what we do for our scholars. We have a lot of work to do to turn those numbers around, but Paul PCS is committed to being a leader in this effort. So your presence here today, your support in this critical effort, is all what will make this possible for our scholars. So I thank you for being here with us today and for celebrating this important milestone and for joining us in our efforts to do whatever it takes for kids. I want to bring up Scott Pearson, our Executive Director for the Public Charter School Board, who, again, works tirelessly to ensure that charter schools have the support they need, the resources that they need, and the autonomy that we need to do what we do. So please help me welcome up Scott Pearson, please.
Thank you, Jamie, and welcome everyone to this beautiful day and this very exciting moment in the history of Paul Public Charter School and in the history of charter schools in DC. I have never seen a great charter school without a great charter school board. It's an impossibility. And so the board of directors deserves so much applause and so much gratitude for what they've created and what they're going to create. So thank you. We at the charter board have a really warm spot for Paul. One of our board members, Barbara Knopflin, used to be head of school. One of our staff members, Charlotte Curitin, was, I believe, deputy head of school. So Paul is also, as Jamie said, the only charter school that has ever converted from a DCPS school. And when you look at the success that Paul has had with that conversion, you have to ask, why don't more DCPS schools come over to the charter board? I think they should. Because Paul really is an example of what's right about charter schools in DC. I mean, we strive at the charter board to have a charter sector that exemplifies high quality, rigorous standards, and choice for kids. And Paul is that all wrapped up in one school. As Jamie said, it's a Tier 1 school. Only about a quarter of our charter schools are awarded that Tier 1 status, and being Tier 1 every year since in the 3 years that we've been doing the performance management, you can count on about one hand how many schools meet that standard. So this is just a very special place. And when the Paul board and Jamie came to us with the proposal to add a high school and expand, we were super enthusiastic. Your highest probability of adding more great seats is by taking a school that's already doing a wonderful job and seeing it grow. So that's happening here. And Jamie's right, despite the fact that there are half-empty DCPS high schools all over this city, and this boundary commission keeps trying to redraw lines to fill them, there aren't enough high-quality high schools in this city. The graduation rate in DC is not where it needs to be. Charter school graduation rate is a hell of a lot better than DCPS. We're at 75%, but we need to get to 100%, and schools like Paul are going to get us there with this high school. And so so this school is filling the need for more great high schools. There's a mayoral candidate who is saying her policy for middle schools is deal for all. And when I look at that, I say, why not Paul for all? Because that's what we need. So who's up next? Congratulations again, and Priyo come up next. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Scott. We have definitely been very fortunate in having the support of Scott and his team at the Public Charter School Board. I'd like to bring up Priya Jayachandran from Bank of America, who is our principal lender in this project and who has been working with us every step of the way to ensure that we were able to get to this moment to break ground today. So Priya, come on up, please.
Thank you, Jamie. We are so delighted to have partnered once again with our friends Building Hope, OSSI, and 10 Square to finance Paul Public Charter School's expansion. What's unique about DC is the number and level of high-quality, innovative, creative charter schools that are producing results. And there's what I love about the DC charter school community, and I've learned about other markets. Joe has taught me about Florida and others, but I'm still partial to DC because I think that you really see a breadth of styles in DC, ones that started with a mission, one that started with a certain emphasis, ones that grew out of a community. And as a proud parent of 3 DCPS students, I'm all for a big tent. There's room for traditional public schools, there's room for charter schools, and there's room for schools like Paul that are somewhere in between. We love that Paul grew out of this community, that Sterling and so many others that have been mentioned have roots and history in this school. And that's terrific, and I think that says so much for the DC charter school movement, that it's not just about alternatives to the public schools, but it can be a blend. So we are, again, thrilled to have been part of this. We wish the board, Jamie and the leadership, and the entire school success, and we can't wait to return for the ribbon cutting.
I'd like to bring up a fabulous, fearless leader that we have here at Paul that has taken the reins of the high school and is really forging ahead, has done some phenomenal things in just 1 year. And that's our high school principal, Kenya Wilson, who we were so fortunate to find last year, who has already put Paul International High School on the global map. So Kenya, if you can come up, please, a few words.
I am excited and very honored to be here today and actually to be a part of Paul's history. When I think about the work that we're doing and our goals and our mission, our number one priority is to ensure that all 250 students that we had last year and the 325 that we'll have next year and the 425 that we'll have at the end of 2015-16 have equal access to a rigorous college preparatory curriculum. We know that our students deserve the right to have a choice. They deserve the right to have opportunities, and we take our responsibility very seriously to ensure that they have that opportunity. We do this work for our kids because they're asking for it. They're asking for us to work hard for them. They're asking for us to challenge them, and we will not deny that ask. We will challenge them, and we will prepare them for college. And so I want to welcome one of our scholars who has been with us for a number of years, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself and what she's excited about. But before I bring her up, I just want to thank you for supporting us, for supporting our effort, and for being here on this fantastic day. So at this time, I'd like to welcome one of our rising juniors, Ms. Taylor Lyons.
My name is Taylor Lyons. I have been a student at Paul since the 8th grade, and I'm returning for my junior year. Paul has taught me how to look at situations through not just one point of view, but through a whole different perspective, look at things through a global view instead of just one way. After I graduate high school, I want to go to college, graduate from college, and pursue a career as an advocate or as a lawyer. I would like to thank everybody here for funding my education, not just my education, but my friends, my schoolmates, and helping us get the resources that we need to survive, because Paul has done a lot for us, and surely they will continue to help us and help us reach our goals. Thank you.
So please keep an eye out for the exciting things that Paul International High School will continue to do. We have a number of students who are returning from Costa Rica in a few days, and we have 23 students who are headed to Japan for 10 days in a few weeks. So again, thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to partnering with you in the future.
Yes, it is a shame that we don't have any elected officials in the crowd, do we? Which is tragic, because I still think that there is a message that needs to be spread throughout the city over and over again. And it's the fact that the charter schools in this city are changing the lives of every child who walks through their doors. It's plain and simple. It's working. So let us go about our jobs and do it well. And Paul is a shining, stellar example of that. Focus is here to help. I know that Robert would always say that we will not be able to do the job that we can do without all of your help. That's everybody who's involved in the school choice movement in this city needs to be a voice. And they need to deliver that message to the Wilson Building and anyone who questions whether or not we're doing what we can. And all of you sitting in these seats are a critical part of this movement. And thank you. And Jamie, thank you so much for giving me this moment. Thank you.